I've been using the iPhone 16 Pro as my daily phone for around 7 months now, and the more I use it, the more I kept thinking the same thing. This thing is still way too good to replace. And I'm saying that as someone who has basically used every Pro iPhone from the 11 Pro all the way up to the 17 Pro. Before this, I had the 15 Pro, before that the 14 Pro, the 13 Pro, and so on. So I have a pretty good feeling how these phones actually change from year to year. Not just what Apple has changed, but what you actually notice when you're using the phone every day. And with the 16 Pro, that's kind of the whole point. It still feels current. I never pick it up and think, yeah, this feels like last year's phone. I never feel like I'm missing something important. Performance is still great, battery life is still good, the cameras are more than enough, the screen looks great, and honestly I prefer the design over the newer 17 Pro. The 17 Pro is obviously newer and yeah, technically it improves some things, but when I use both of them in normal life, the difference is so small that I just don't care. You'd probably have to sit there and looking for differences to really notice most of them, and nobody uses their phone like that. You open Instagram, answer messages, use navigation, listen to music, take a photo, browse the web, maybe edit something, and if the phone does all of that instantly and reliably, you stop thinking about it. The design is actually one of my favorite things about the 16 Pro. I think it's one of the best looking iPhones Apple has made. The 15 Pro is basically right there with it because they share the exact same design, so I really like what Apple did with this generation. The titanium frame feels great, it has that really solid premium feeling without being overly flashy, and I think Apple got that shape almost perfect here because it sits right in between those older really squared off iPhones and the super soft edges on the 17 Pro. Those phones had pretty sharp sides, they looked really nice, but after holding them for a while you definitely noticed the edges. The 16 Pro was much nicer in that way. The edges are softened enough that it's comfortable, but it still has that slightly squared shape that makes it feel like an iPhone Pro. The 17 Pro feels really smooth in the hand too, don't get me wrong. The transitions between the frame and the back are extremely soft and nice, but for my taste it almost goes a little too far in that direction. So I prefer the balance on the 16 Pro. If someone who didn't follow phones closely saw a 16 Pro on a table, I seriously don't think they would look at it and think it's an older model. I also like using mine without a case. Actually, that's how I use it most of the time because I'm generally not a big case person. When I'm at home or somewhere I know I'm probably not going to drop it, it's almost always completely naked. Not because I got a notification, just because I like how it looks. It sounds a bit stupid when I say it like that, but I think you know what I mean. The 6.3-inch size is kind of perfect for me. It's big enough that watching videos, browsing websites, and looking at photos feels good, but it's not so big that the phone becomes annoying to carry around. And I can still use it one-handed most of the time. Maybe not literally reach every corner of the display perfectly with one thumb, but for normal stuff like scrolling, typing something quickly, changing music, or checking a message, it's completely manageable. The screen is still fantastic. Honestly, there's not much more I need from a phone display at this point. Apple has been making really good displays for years, so it's not like the 16 Pro suddenly changed everything, but it's one of those parts of the phone that I basically never think about because it always works exactly how I want it to. It's smooth, bright, sharp, and the colors look great, and the smaller bezels compared to the 15 Pro actually help the phone look newer than you might expect. Outside, I've never had a serious problem seeing it. I've used navigation in the car with sunlight coming through the windshield, read emails outside, answered messages while walking around on bright days, and I've always been able to see what I'm doing. Compared with the 17 Pro, I honestly don't sit there thinking the newer display is making my life better. The newer one has a very difficult job convincing you to upgrade. Performance is probably one of the biggest reasons I have zero motivation to replace it. The 16 Pro obviously stills very fast, and I don't mean fast in some benchmark or technical way, I mean I tap something and it opens instantly, that's it. I use it for web browsing, social media, Apple Music, navigation, messages, productivity apps, photo editing, and occasionally some lighter gaming like chess, and nothing I do really bothers this phone. I can have navigation running, music playing, jump into messages, open the camera, take some photos, and then go back to whatever I was doing, and it never feels like the phone is struggling. And even with longer sessions, I never felt like performance was becoming a problem. And what's funny is that I also didn't notice some massive differences coming from the 15 Pro. And I don't notice some massive difference when I use the 17 Pro either. Obviously there are differences internally, but the important question is whether you actually feel them while using the phone. Most of the time I don't, and you probably wouldn't either. If you really go looking for a difference, you'll probably find one. Maybe something loads slightly faster or some specific task finishes sooner, but normal people don't use phones with a stopwatch. You just naturally notice over time whether something feels good or bad. If I switched phones and suddenly something felt slower, I'd notice it. But it hasn't happened here. The 16 Pro is simply fast enough that performance basically disappears as a topic. The camera is another area where I really don't feel like I need anything more. For the average person, honestly, it's probably an overkill already, and it has enough more advanced options that if you actually want to do something more serious, you can. Most of the time I just take the phone out, open the camera and press the button. That's my entire photography process. And I like that I can do that without thinking because I already know the result is probably going to look good. I use the camera control button mostly for exactly that, quickly opening the camera. I know you can swipe around it and move through different camera controls, but personally I find it a little bit too fiddly. If I actually want to change something specific, I'd rather just touch the screen. It's faster for me and feels more natural. But having a physical shortcut into the camera itself is useful, especially when something happens quickly and you just want to take the photo before the moment is gone. Photo quality is excellent, and the same goes for video. Low light stuff is really good too. I've taken photos and videos at night and been more than happy with what came out. For the kind of photos and videos I make, the camera has never really annoyed me in any way. My battery health is currently at 91%. That part did worry me a little at first. Over roughly 4 months, I watched it drop by around 1% almost every month. And when you see that happening consistently, you naturally start thinking, okay, is this going to keep going? But interestingly, it has now stayed at 91% for around 2 months. And more importantly, I don't really notice the lower battery health in everyday use. But if I had to pick one real criticism, it would probably be the heat. And even then, my experience hasn't been terrible. The 15 Pro was actually more noticeable for me in this area. My 16 Pro has never become seriously hot to the point where I thought something was wrong, but there have definitely been moments where it got warmer than I expected. The most obvious one was during the first few days after setting it up. It was syncing my photo library, Apple Music, and basically moving everything over in the background, and during those first 2 or 3 days, it regularly became pretty warm. After everything finished syncing, it calmed down a lot. Since then, I've only really noticed heat during longer, heavy use. Stuff like extended productivity sessions, lots of web browsing, or especially recording video for a while. It's worth mentioning because it does happen, but for me personally, it hasn't been a big enough problem to change how I feel about the phone. My screen time is usually somewhere between 4 and 7 hours a day depending on what I'm doing, and I normally charge the phone somewhere around every 24 to 36 hours. If I start the morning at 100%, I'll often still have around 40% left when I go to bed, and I don't always charge it at that point. Sometimes I just put it into airplane mode overnight, wake up with around 38% or so, and keep using it until around lunchtime before I need to charge. So yeah, seeing 91% in the battery settings isn't beautiful. I'd obviously rather see 100%, but if I didn't have that number sitting there telling me that the battery had aged, I'm not sure I would even notice much from a normal use. The action button is funny because technically I use it every day, but I'm probably using it in the most boring way possible. I just use it as a mute switch, that's it. I know you can assign other stuff to do it, you can make it open different apps or trigger shortcuts or whatever, but I never really felt the need. It works and I'm happy. The dynamic island is something I barely think about it anymore. It's just part of the phone now. Sometimes it shows music or some live activity and it's useful, but I'm not sitting there admiring it as a feature. And the camera control is similar, but like I said, I mostly use it as a camera shortcut rather than trying to control every camera setting through it. If I compare to my 17 Pro, there's nothing that makes me look at my 16 Pro and think I need to switch. That doesn't mean the 17 Pro is bad, it isn't, but I think the improvements have become small enough that they don't automatically translate into a better daily experience. The biggest difference I notice personally is actually the design and materials. And that's an area where I prefer the 16 Pro. So even when I pick up the newer model, I don't immediately feel like I'm holding something that makes the 16 Pro outdated. And now that the 16 Pro isn't the newest generation anymore, the value makes even more sense. Depending on condition, storage and battery health, you can already find them for a lot less money than when they launched. I've seen the lower storage version going for under $700 in some cases, and you definitely don't need to spend anywhere near flagship money anymore to get a really good one. Obviously, I check the condition carefully, battery health matters, it has to be an authentic Apple battery, the frame matters, the screen matters, but if you can find a clean one with a healthy battery at a good price, I think you're getting an absurd amount of phone for the money. If the battery health is weak, then I'll definitely go to Apple and get a battery replacement. And it's not like you're buying some 4 or 5-year-old iPhone that's near the end of its life. This thing is still very recent, it has USB-C, Apple Intelligence support, amazing cameras, a modern design and plenty of performance for years. So from a value perspective, I think it's actually become more interesting now. Let me know in the comments what you think. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you again in the next one.